Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here with Kevin Frischi of Calvinator Engines. And I have given him the cylinder heads that came off of the engine I took out of the Mustang. And he's gone through them a little bit and made them a little bit better. So Kevin, what did you do to these cylinder heads?
We freshened up the valve job. The valve guides were fine. We didn't have to do anything with them. We freshened up the valve job. I did a multi-angle valve job on the intake valve, did a radius cut on the exhaust. I also did what I call a mild pocket port, where they machined the intake runner. There was just a sharp edge right here on what's called the short turn radius. So we just did a radius, blended that in. The air doesn't have to fall off a cliff right now, so it'll turn. The short turn radius will help turn the air for maximized cylinder filling. And did the same thing on the exhaust to help the air get out of the cylinder. An engine being just like an air pump, we need to be concerned with getting air in the cylinder and getting air out of the cylinder. So you're doing a proper valve job can help maximize that. And then I did a minor port match on the intake side of the heads. I ordered the Felpro gasket, the 1262, that matched the heads, and it was just off a little bit. So I did what they call port matching, which is you go 1 inch into the intake runner and just make the ports the same size as the gasket, which we also matched up on the intake manifold. On the valve spring side, we had to address this. The cylinder head originally had this boss that stuck out, and the valve spring would not go over that. The OD of the boss was larger than the ID of the valve spring. So we machined that down, and then I have a spring locator that will it'll center up on the OD of the guide, and then there's a step on the locator that will locate the inside diameter of the valve spring. And that'll keep the valve spring from dancing around. And anytime you have an application on an aluminum head, you don't want the spring to be directly on the aluminum head. So that's why we use the locator.
And these are my fault because these springs are somewhat a little bit special. They have a smaller diameter on them, on the bottoms, and they have this cone shape to them. So that makes it so it's a little bit unique. So these are not anywhere near the stock type valve springs that were on here. So this extra work is actually the result of these springs that I got from Comp Cams that I'm using in this application.
So this is the locator here. So that locates the inside of the spring, locates on the valve guide, and then it's not going to be dancing all around the head. Very nice package.
In addition, we had to enlarge these because I'm using the larger studs too. Correct?
Right, we're using this had the factory 5/16 size studs, so we had to drill these out and tap them to 7/16 14 thread for our screw-on studs and guide plates.
And just to put this out there, these started out as Ford X302 heads, which I believe are a variation of the GT40 head that is aluminum instead of cast iron.
Right, it's a aluminum version of a stock head, but what they did improve on this is the size of the exhaust ports. So these are not that bad of a head. These are workable. These are worth putting some time into.
And you certainly did put some time into them. Oh, not to mention we put the new surface, which will be seen in another video. Anything else that we missed or?
That's where I made them big chips like that. You figured that would have blowed out when we washed the head. There we go. What we'll want to do next then is we'll CC a combustion chamber so we can find out our final static compression ratio.
Very cool. Kevin Frischi, Calvinator Engines, link in the description to them so you can check them out. EricTheCarGuy.com if you have automotive questions. Google+, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram if you wish to connect with me socially. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. Thanks for watching. And remember, support your local machine shop.